In this video, I'm going to talk you through how you can go about organizing a Livenar. Now, a Livenar is like a webinar, but it's held over Facebook Live. Now, the first thing to do is to decide on your topic. And the best way to do that is to simply ask your followers what they want to learn about. And you can do that ahead of time by emailing your list. You can post something on Facebook and get people to respond. You could perhaps mention it in a previous live stream that you're going to be doing a Livenar and what would you like to know about, and people can submit comments and you can come up with some ideas that way. But one thing that you should do is you want to keep the topic niche. You want to keep it nice and narrow because you don't want to bore your audience. You don't want to drone on for too long. You can talk for up to 90 minutes, but quite frankly, I think you're going to start losing people's attention way before then. So you want to keep the topic niche. And of course, bear in mind that if people have lots of different things that they want to learn about, if your followers have lots of different things they want to learn about, you can do a separate Livenar on each one of those, and that gives people a reason to come back and keep following you and keep listening to your live streams or watching your live streams. You also need to pick a time and date that's convenient for your audience. Now, bear in mind, this is going to be going out live and your audience is going to be in different time zones. Now, of course, if you're aiming this at people who are all in one country, then that is probably easier than aiming it at a global audience. So, for example, if you're in the continental US, you've only got 4 time zones to worry about. If you're in the UK, you've only got 1 time zone to worry about. So that sort of thing. Whereas if you're going for a global audience, then you've got 24 different time zones to worry about. So you do need to make sure that you are going out at a time that your audience can tune in and watch. And you want to do your homework. You want to research your topic thoroughly. You want to find out all that there is to know about it, because after all, when you're doing a Livenar, you're the expert. If you're doing a Livenar with another person, then you'll have to be in the same place at the same time. It's not like if you're doing a webinar where you can be in separate places and you can talk to each other via the internet. Because if you're doing a Livenar, it's going to have to be filmed on your smartphone. So you're going to have to be physically in the same place at the same time. So you can go to them, they can come to you, or you can meet them somewhere and do your Livenar at a place that's convenient for both of you. Whatever you decide to do, you want to hold your Livenar somewhere quiet with a good Wi-Fi or 4G signal. So you want to check out the venue ahead of time. If it's not going to be in your home or your office, you want to make sure that if you're going to meet someone somewhere else, or you're going to go to their office or their home, that there is a good Wi-Fi signal. And you want to make sure that the set looks tidy and that the lighting is done properly. Because bear in mind that people are going to be looking at the set the whole time that you're on camera. So you want to make sure that there's nothing out of place, because you don't want anything to distract from you or your guest and the message that you're putting across. And the same goes for the lighting, because if it looks amateurish, then that's going to put people off. You want to have the same sort of lighting that people will get if they see you on TV or if they go to the movies. And ideally, what you want to aim for is what's known as Rembrandt lighting. And this is the sort of lighting techniques that Rembrandt used in his pictures. And you can see from his self-portrait here that the way that he's painted it is that the light is stronger on one side of his face than on the other. And that's the sort of technique that you want to reproduce in your videos. And something else you want to do is have an agenda to work through. And this will ensure that you move smoothly through the presentation and you don't miss anything out. So you could have note cards or cue cards or just simply a piece of paper with the schedule written through it, the agenda, so that you know that you're going to be covering this topic first and then that topic and then the other topic and that sort of thing. And of course, you want to rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. You want to make sure that your delivery is perfect. You don't want to be hesitating. You don't want a lot of ums and ahs and that sort of thing, because it just sounds very unprofessional. So you want to make sure that you at least sound like you know what you're talking about and you look like you know what you're talking about. Because if you're nervous, if you don't really come across as being confident, then that is going to spoil your presentation. So you want to practice your delivery in the mirror until you're confident about giving a polished performance. So go somewhere private and practice just talking to yourself in the mirror. It feels a bit strange when you first do it, but that is the best way to find out exactly how you're going to come across. Or, of course, if you have a video camera, you can video yourself talking to camera and play it back and watch it. But do bear in mind, though, that this is going to be going out live, so any mistakes are not going to be able to be edited out, unlike on video. And then you want to get the word out about your Livenar. And there are lots of different ways that you can do that. On Facebook, of course, you can let your Facebook friends and your followers know that you're going to be holding this Livenar. And you can use other social media as well. Twitter is a good way because you can simply send out a short message to your Twitter followers. And also LinkedIn, if you're aiming at a business niche. Lots of people who have a presence on LinkedIn also have a presence on Facebook for their business. So you can work the two together and get the word out that way. Of course, your mailing list is probably the best way to get the word out. Everyone who's subscribed to your newsletter, everyone who's bought a product from you, you want to let them know about your Livenar. And also your blog subscribers. Anyone who's subscribing to your blog, you can put a post in your blog to tell people that you're going to be holding this Livenar and when, and give them instructions as to how they can sign up and how they can watch it. You also want to remind people in the days and hours running up to your Livenar that it's going to go ahead and give them the date and the time. And again, because Facebook Live is so new and lots of people won't have heard about it, you'll have to remind people how they can tune in and watch it. Something else as well that you want to have is a Q&A as part of your Livenar. You can get people to submit questions to you via the app, and you can answer them in real time. And it's a good idea to mention them by name. Here we've got a question from Fred, or here we've got a question from Jane, and answer them in real time and quote them. And that can really tie you and the audience together. And people really do like that. Something else that you can do finally is you can record your Livenar and you can post the video on your Facebook timeline, and you can also post it on YouTube and other video sharing sites. But if you do that, you want to be sure to edit something out, and you want to make sure that people know it's been edited out, because this will give them an incentive to tune in and watch your next Livenar live. So you don't give them everything when they tune in and watch your video off of a site like YouTube. So that will encourage people to actually tune in and follow you on Facebook and watch your next Livenar. So there you go. You could very well be one of the first people in your niche to hold a Livenar, and I wish you every success.